Hi, I'm your host, Will Hopper.
And I'm Caden Weishart, and we would like to thank you for joining us to celebrate the men and women who have served to protect our freedom.
Today we will take a moment to recognize and say thank you to those brave men and women as this month we celebrate Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is one of the most important days of the year. Taking a day to reflect on all that veterans do is very important. We owe them all the thanks in the world. In the words of my dad, an Air Force veteran, freedom in the pursuit of happiness only happens when people are willing to sacrifice parts of their day to living on their own freedoms to preserve the rights and freedoms of everyone. We all owe a debt of gratitude to those who sacrificed their life and limb so that we can enjoy the life we have today. Thank you, veterans, and especially my dad.
Hello, Barons. I'm Donnie Wiley here with
Braden Shaka.
And we'd like to just take a moment to recognize and thank all the veterans that have served for our country.
Donnie, what does Veterans Day mean to you?
That's a great question, Braden. I just like to say Veterans Day means to me recognition and a celebration of all that have sacrificed, served, their bravery, and just the example you set for us. And they also helped change and make America what it looks like today. And it's just a moment to recognize them and thank them for that. What does Veterans Day mean to you?
Well, it's pretty dear to my heart. My dad served in the Navy, my grandpa did, and it's just kind of been like a long line of my family who've all like served. So it's interesting just like talk to them and just kind of get their experiences. So it's nice to have a day where I can just like celebrate what family has gone through, you know?
Yeah. Barons, if you're out there and you see a coach, a teacher, friend, even family, take 10 seconds out of your day and thank them for their service.
Veterans Day, a day when those who served are remembered.
Many people have served in many different ways, and it is on this day and throughout the month of November that we recognize them.
Veterans Day is a special holiday that honors all those who have served and are serving in the United States military, no matter what branch, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard.
Now to the Armed Service Melody.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Can we die to meet our thunder? Paddle now, give her the gun. Down we dive, starting our plane from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in pain, we're down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. First to fight for the right and to fill the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the Army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, hey, the Army's on its way. Count on the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along. We're always ready for the call. the halls of Montezuma, to the shores of Tripoli. We will fight our country's battles in the air, on land, and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
So when did it all start? When did we realize that it was so important to say thank you and recognize our veterans?
World War I was fought by many countries for 5 years, beginning over 100 years ago in 1914 and ending in 1918. The United States fought in this war from 1917 to 1918. In 1918, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, that is 11 o'clock on November 11th, the warring countries signed an agreement called an armistice that brought an end to the war.
On that day, people throughout the world were overjoyed and celebrated because the war was finally over and the loved ones would be coming home to their families after so long. People went out into the streets, danced, partied, and were ecstatic that the fighting was over. They blew horns and whistles and sang songs all night.
The people at the time very wishfully thought there would be no more wars. In fact, World War I was nicknamed the war to end all wars. After all, we had been at war before, even between our own states, and it was everyone's hope that the moment like Gettysburg would never be repeated. Now to a video with BTV's own Chase Miser-Buhite and Lindsay Raymer.
With you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure.
We met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that land
The final resting place
for those who here gave their lives, that this nation might live.
It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this.
But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground.
Brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract.
The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they have fought here, have thus far so nobly advanced.
It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from those honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation,
under God,
shall have a new birth of freedom,
and that the government of the people,
by the people,
for the people,
shall not perish from the earth.
In the sign flashed out his warning, and the words that it was forming. In the signs and the words and the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
It was years later, as World War I had come to a close in 1918, when President Woodrow Wilson made November 11th a holiday, called it Armistice Day, to honor all the heroes that died in World War I.
Over time, the name of the holiday was changed to Veterans Day, and the purpose of this day was changed to honor all who had served and are serving in the United States Armed Forces.
So during this month of November, it is important to take all this time to say thank you.
Hello everybody. Why is Veterans Day important? Well, there's a ton of reasons. We have our friends and family and close ones that have been part of the armed services. We have all the people that we don't even know that have sacrificed their lives for somebody just as random as me, you, everybody around you. So make sure to say thank you to a veteran that you know, or even ones that you don't know, and celebrate Veterans Day, stand up, and be proud.
During World War I, there were 117,000 American deaths. If each person represented a pound, this amount can be represented as 23,400 bricks. During World War II, there were 405,399 American deaths. If each person represented a pound, this amount could be represented by 81,080 bricks. During the Civil War, there were 618,222 deaths. If each person represented a pound, this amount could be represented by 123,644 bricks. In total, in just these three wars, 1,140,621 Americans' lives were lost. I'm Kaylee Arian here for PTV, and I thank all veterans for their service.
Hello, Barons. I'm Levi Abernathy here to say to all the veterans here today, I sincerely thank you for your service and your sacrifice. I recognize the pride you feel being able to say you have served in the greatest military in the world. Thank you all for choosing to honor veterans today and show our support of our heroes past and present. Thank you to all our veterans for your courage, strength, and dedication to keeping us safe. I'm Levi Abernathy, and I'm signing off.
During these times that we remember, many of us can think of the personal ties and sacrifices that are made by family and friends. These stories and moments that live on should never be forgotten, no matter what the contribution or sacrifice was. They're all worth remembering. My co-host Caden Weishart has a special report on a wartime story.
In 1936, 19-year-old Louis Zamperini qualified for Summer Olympics in Berlin. Even today, he remains the youngest American to qualify in the 5,000-meter track and field event. He didn't earn a medal at the Olympics, but several years later, he would take part in actions that resulted in medals. In 1938, Zamperini attended the University of Southern California, where he set a national record of 4 minutes and 8.3 seconds in the mile, despite being intentionally spiked in the shins from competitors during that race. The runners would soon shift gears in his career. He didn't wait for America's entry into World War II. Instead, Zamperini enlisted in the Army Corps in September of 1941, and soon was commissioned as a second lieutenant. In late 1942, he was stationed on the Pacific Atoll, missions including bombing runs. On one return flight from a successful bombing mission over Nauru, Zamperini's aircraft was attacked by 3 Japanese Zero fighter aircrafts. He and the other gunners successfully fought them off, but one of the crew members was killed. 4 others were injured, and the aircraft sustained several damage, though it managed to land. Next, Zamperini was transferred to Hawaii, where he was a crew member on another B-24. Their mission this time was searching for lost crew members and aircraft. On May 27th of 1943, his aircraft experienced mechanical problems during a mission and ditched into the ocean. Only 3 men survived the crash, including Zamperini. They inflated the rafts and floated about for weeks. Fortunately for them, it rained enough to supply drinking water. There were some close calls. A shark brushed up alongside their rafts, but it left when they hit with a raft. They left It left when they hit it with a raft paddle. They nearly capsized during the storm, but after 33 days, one of the 3 men died. On day 47, Zamperini and Russell Allen Phillips, who was the pilot of the doomed B-24, landed the raft in the Marshall Islands, where they were immediately taken prisoners by Japanese sailors. He and Phillips were later transferred to a number of prisoner of war camps on mainland Japan and were separated. They wouldn't meet again until after the war. Zamperini eventually was transferred to the infamous Nagasui prisoner of war camp in northern Japan, where he remained until the end of the war. The camp was infamous because of prisoner guard Montesuro the Bird Wannabe, who relished torturing the men. After the war, Army General Douglas MacArthur listed him 23rd among the top 40 most wanted war criminals in Japan. However, he was spared execution. Zamperini grew up in an Italian family and didn't even learn to speak English until grade school. While Zamperini was held captive, he first was declared missing at sea and later as killed in action. After the war, Zamperini said he drank heavily and was extremely bitter about Wannabe and others who mistreated the prisoners. The life-changing moment for him, he said, came from when he was attending Reverend Billy Graham crusade in Los Angeles in 1949, which resulted in him becoming a born-again Christian. He returned to Japan the following year, where he met many of his former guards to tell him he'd forgiven them. However, Wannabe refused to meet with him, so he wrote a letter of forgiveness to him. In 1998, Zamperini participated in the torch relay for the 1998 Olympic Winter Games in Kyoto, Japan. Today we remember heroes like Zamperini, who led by example in choosing bravery over fear and forgiveness over grudges. Doing that special report was such a blessing to me and such a great reminder that war knows no boundaries or distinction of class and wealth, but rather it affects us all. It is impossible to say thank you enough. My co-host and some of my fellow news reporters wanted to take some time and say thank you to them.
Hey Barons, I'm here with Becca Sullivan, and we're here talking about some quotes about Veterans Day. So Becca, you want to start us off?
Sure. This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them.
A hero is someone who has given his or her life to someone bigger than oneself.
Our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude.
We come not to mourn our dead soldiers, but to praise them.
A hero is someone who understands the responsibility that comes with his freedom.
This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave.
To our men and women in uniform, past, present, and future, God bless you and thank you. So thank you, our veterans, all you out there watching. This has been Will Hopper and Becca Sullivan.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Barons. Veterans Day is a national holiday which is annually observed on November 11th since 1938. Unlike Memorial Day, Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, alive or dead, but especially gives thanks to the living veterans who served their country honorably during times of war or peace. The observance of Veterans Day on November 11th not only preserves the historical significance of this date, but helps focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor American veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good.
Hello, Barons. I'm Aid Makinich, and on a day like today, I'd like to remind us all that our freedom isn't guaranteed, and it's protected by the men and women who serve this country each and every day. Also, on a day like today, I'd like to say thank you to all the current and former veterans. Thank you for your sacrifice, your bravery, and the example that you set for us all to help make America what it is today. This has been Aid Makinich from BTV. Thank you.
So as this melting pot we call America continues to stand together, it is so important to honor our veterans.
It is important to do everything within our abilities to never forget those here in Barron Nation who have answered the call. 1968, Gary Muntz, Navy. 1968, James Haneker, Marines. 1969, Ronald Lee Schwartz, Marines. 1970, Thomas John Smith, Army. 1974, David Bussell, Army.
1975, Carl Hansen, Marines. 1977, David D. Hall, Air Force. 1984, David G. Sarah, Air Force, Army. 1984, Ronald Jason Wells, Army. 1985, K. Bennett Wolf, Air Force.
1985, Scott Allen Zellers, Air Force. 1992, Clayton Errol, Navy. 1992, Ryan Vincent, Marines. 1997, Jason A. West, Air Force. 1998, Trevor Webb, Navy.
2000, TJ Blau, Army. 2000, Mike Davis, Air Force. 2000, Zeb Pohl, Air Force. 2000, Ming Ling, Air Force. 2000, Nora Bartram Schwartz, Air Force.
2000, Joseph Stuckey, Air Force. 2001, Tyler Hervey, Army. 2001, Landon Hinman, Air Force, National Guard. 2001, Jared Phillips, Army, National Guard. 2001, Scott Pancock, Navy.
2001, Nick Wallace, Army, National Guard. 2002, Melissa Ort Hyde, Army. 2002, Christopher J. Wells, Air Force. 2003, Stephen W. Hodges, Navy. 2003, Ben Schwartz, Army.
2003, Nathan Schaefer, Army. 2003, Christopher Lamb, Air Force. 2003, Travis Ort, Army. 2004, Joshua G. Hall, Navy. 2004, David W. Nan III, Air Force.
2005, Kyle C. Brown, Army. 2005, Alice Kloffenstein, Air Force. 2005, Brett Matthews, Navy. 2006, Allie Gertner, Navy, Air Force. 2006, Jared Malcolm, Marines.
2006, Michael Joseph Scottron, Army. 2007, Jonathan Conrad, Marines. 2007, Jabron Knox, Army, CIA. 2007, Logan Ray Lettner, Marines. 2008, Brandy N. Hall, Navy.
2008, Cody Larau, Marines. 2009, Tate M. Nan, Air Force. 2010, Scott Allen Baker, Army. 2010, Jared Klein, Air Force. 2011, Joshua Akins, Navy.
2011, Blake Fraley, Army. 2011, Cody Austin Keynes, Navy. 2012, Cody Richard Burniston, Army. 2012, Nicholas P. Haberly, Army. 2012, Chandler S. Nan, Air Force.
2013, Nathan M. Bembo, Army. 2013, Riley T. Altred, Navy. 2013, Benny J. Benhauer, Navy. 2014, Grant Lockwood, Army. 2015, Logan Hughes.
2014, Hunter Martin, Marines. 2015, Trevor Myers, Air Force. 2016, Lucas Adams, Army. 2016, Bailey Kimmel, Navy. 2018, Trevor James Conrad, Army. 2021, Kellen Exford, Coast Guard.
America.
Land of the free.
Our liberty is something we all hold dear.
Unfortunately, there are those who have sought to take it away.
Time and time again, they have been met by an immovable force.
One that is resolute.
One that never backs down.
One that has always stood victorious.
These heroes are the veterans of our armed forces.
We have.
We have because they gave.
With a grateful heart.
We say thank you.
We say thank you for your sacrifice.
We say thank you for your service.
We say thank you for freedom.
Let us never forget what you've done.
For everything we have and everything that we are, it is because of your sacrifice.
Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends.
Today we honor our veterans.
Thank you. So it is during this month of November that we pause to say thank you.
Yes, thank you. And even though we know we can never repay those who served, we want them to know that they are not.
And never will be forgotten. From all of us here at BTV Studios, thank you, and God bless America.